Anarchism is the negation of capitalism. Anarchism is the negation of property rights. Property rights need an enforcement mechanism. You have to be able to enforce property rights. And that enforcement mechanism is government. You know, if everybody is trying to enforce their own property rights, then ultimately there's no mechanism by which we arbitrate disputes. The mechanism that they present of private courts and private armies defaults to civil war, defaults to, because you've given different entities the ability to define property rights in different ways over the same territory, over the same property. How do they arbitrate the dispute? They can go to court, but why bother? If I have a bigger weapon than you, why would I go to court? I'll just take you over and impose my view on you. So it is a system that devolves into a Hobbesian everybody against everybody, all men against all men, and it revolves into violence. So, so capitalism requires, in order for capitalism to exist, what is required is the elimination of coercion from human interaction. And coercive action, whether it's private or whether it's by government, needs to be eliminated. Now, there's no way to eliminate private coercion without establishing a monopoly over the use of retaliatory force. And that monopoly is government. And if they don't like the word government, call it something else. I don't care. But you need an institution, a human institution, that actually excludes, whose whole job is to make sure that people don't use force against one another. And if you don't do that, if you leave it so-called to competition, there is no competition, because when force is allowed, in a sense, and now is competed over, then the guy with the bigger gun wins, just like the guy with the best product wins, right? In a marketplace, the way to solve problems is to outcompete your opponent. And if force is what we're competing about, then the way for me to outcompete my opponent is to have more force, is to have better weapons, bigger weapons, and to impose my will. You cannot have a marketplace, a functioning marketplace. You cannot have the idea of property rights enforced without an institution that eliminates the use of force, and that is called government.